Hello and welcome back to Ramblings of a Mad Guy. It's been a while. Look, I know life happens, but we're back and it's an important time. It's election season. I actually don't know if that's important. It's not clear to me if that's important. It seems like this one is sort of like an outsider versus an insider, right? So I'm going to go with this one might actually be more important because usually it's just an insider versus an insider. At least in my lifetime. It's, Barack Obama or Mitt Romney, right? No one's really shaking the boat here, right? But now it's like a real guy that the insiders fucking hate, Donald Trump, which makes me like him more. The fact that everybody hates him. At least everybody that I hate hates him. The insiders. I refuse to define this. You just kind of have to figure out what I'm talking about here. The political insiders, the corporatocrats, because I think we live in a corporatocracy. So what are they? Corporatocrats? I don't know. There's a much better word for it. If I were like Alex Jones, I would call it the globalist elite, which I think that's a fair description. Anyway, whoever they hate, I am tending to like more. I always liked RFK. Now he's on Team Trump. I've always liked Tulsi Gabbard. Now she's on Team Trump. I've always liked Elon Musk. Now he's on Team Trump. Seems like the right choice. I don't know. Seems like the right choice for me. You make your decision. But I did come across something funny in this important political time. The insider, Kamala Harris, or Kamala? I saw an old person called her Camilla, which I have not heard before, but that's funny. She has proposed a last minute sort of law, or I don't know. What are they even called? Codes. Now they can just make shit up. They can make up these codes, and you're violating code 554, which we just made up. Oh, is that a law? Yeah, kinda. Kind of a law, but you gotta obey it, or we'll use military force on you. My libertarian coming out. Anyway, Kamala Harris. Harris proposes 1 million forgivable loans to black entrepreneurs as Trump makes inroads. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen this. Trump is huge with black Americans relative to the last 3 presidents, right? So Obama won something like 95% of the black teenage vote, black young male vote, not teenager, whatever, the young male. Obviously, Hillary Clinton still had strong numbers on that, but lost some compared to Obama. I think she was 85%, right? Biden lost even more. He went down 10 points. I remember he was 75%, if I remember correctly. And then right now, the polling for Kamala Harris is that she lost 10 more points on top of that. So it's 63%.
Look at where it is now. It's 70%. That's a 16-point drop, John. And more than that, it's not just that Joe Biden is losing ground. It's that Donald Trump is gaining ground. You go from 7%, single digits at this point in 2020, to now 21%. And again, John, I keep looking for signs that this is going to go back to normal, and I don't see it yet in the polling. If anything, right now we're careening towards a historic performance for Republican presidential candidate, the likes of which we have not seen in 6 decades. Look at black voters under the age of 50. Holy cow, folks. Holy cow. Look at this. Joe Biden was up by 80 points among this group back at this point in 2020. Look at where that margin has careened down towards. It's now just, get this, 37 points. That lead has dropped by more than half, Mr. Berman. I just never seen anything like this. I'm speechless, because you always look at history and you go, okay, this is a historic moment. If this polling is anywhere near correct, we are looking at a historic moment right now where black voters under the age of 50, which have historically been such a big part of the Democratic coalition, are leaving it in droves. If we add Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to this, look at where Joe Biden drops to. Less than half the vote among black voters. Less than half the vote among black voters. John, I never thought I would see something like this.
In an effort to get some of this vote back, Harris proposes 1 million forgivable loans. You know, that sounds like a good idea. All right, loans, whatever, for entrepreneurs. I don't know. It seems sketchy whenever the government says we're going to do anything that's racially motivated. I feel like the government should not really be involved with like racial identification. Like they shouldn't be making laws that only affect one race. That just seems intuitive to me, but maybe that's not intuitive to everyone. So whatever, people might support that. Fair enough. I just think the bullet points are even funnier. Vice President Kamala Harris unveiled an opportunity agenda plan for black men, which includes a proposal of forgivable loans of up to $20,000 to black entrepreneurs. I mean, fine, stimulate the economy. She also pledged to support federal marijuana legalization, a big step beyond the Biden administration's current stance. Okay. I mean, I'm not sure how that's related to black businesses, but fair enough. Now, this is where it gets crazy. I mean, it is funny where she's like, well, okay, let's read all three and then we'll break it down. The third prong of her three-pronged attack onto black young males, Harris's crypto plans will make sure owners of and investors in digital assets benefit from a regulatory framework so that black men and others who participate in this market are protected. Like the first two, it's kind of like Democrat, like bullshit, you know. Oh, take some free money, take some loans. Yeah. Marijuana, sure. Which is funny that they haven't done yet. I'm pretty sure Trump said he would legalize marijuana as well. That's just like across the board. Everybody's for that nowadays. And it's funny that the Biden administration is against that, apparently, based on the wording of this article here by CNBC. But she goes, you know what, black people, you know what you guys love? You know what's going to get you to vote for me? How about free money for business loans? Yeah. How about marijuana? Not actually more expensive marijuana because it's going to be taxed. How about marijuana legal? Yeah. All right. How about I'm going to regulate and take all your Bitcoin? What? How is that the plan? How is that how you're attracting young black men? I'm going to make marijuana legal. I'm going to give you money for your business. And I'm going to take all your crypto. Let's just read through the sentence so that you know. This is the quote from her campaign. We'll make sure owners of and investors in digital assets, so that means crypto, benefit, ? From a regulatory framework so that black men and others who participate in this market are protected. Right? Right. Because that's what people who buy Bitcoin, who buy shit coins. Look, I'm an investor in Sigma. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that. I don't know if that's smart for me to say. I could look on my phone in my Phantom wallet right now and it could be at zero. I have no idea. But, you know, it's kind of fun to invest in shitcoins. But you know what I would not like? To be taxed more and regulated. Like the whole point is that it's like a deregulated system of currency. Isn't that the entire point? I know the government loves to get their little claws in there. But I like that she's saying, like, she's proposing the government getting their claws in there and like taking your crypto and like regulating your Bitcoin. That's like her plea to the voters. That's like her saying like, yeah, we're doing this for you. we're going to regulate your Bitcoin for you, especially for you if you're black. Just seems like the weirdest framing ever. And like, this is CNBC. Let's read a little bit of the article. Make sure I'm not being unfair to Kamala here. Maybe it's a great plan. Maybe she's going to protect black men on Coinbase we'll see what her plan is. At least maybe there's got to be more details, right? Because like it's not intuitive how a regulatory framework would really benefit anybody who's interested in cryptocurrency, the exact thing they're escaping from by doing the crypto. But let's see what she has to say. So, the first part, I'm just gonna skim this. I don't think anyone really cares. This is the first part. Yeah, so they're giving 1 million loans, $20,000 to black entrepreneurs. It's great. It's great liberal horse shit. They're gonna make black men. What are they gonna do? Black men make up less than 2% of public school teachers. What? What's the point of that? I thought the whole point was that being a teacher sucked. Why do they want to make black men teachers if it sucks to be a teacher? Okay, fair enough. I guess we need to drag them down into the strata of public school teacher, according to Kamala. Fair enough. That's whatever. All right. And then they're going to legalize the marijuana. Oh my God, it's so glorious. They're legalizing the marijuana. They're going to break down unjust legal barriers that hold black men and other Americans back. I love that it's always like black men and others. It's kind of funny. Like this whole thing is just like somehow directed straight at black men. Which the marijuana thing, I think it does actually impact them disproportionately. It definitely does. And hilariously, in the state of California, which she was the district attorney for so long, and personally, what was the crazy thing that Tulsi said which is true, 100% true. We can look it up. I'll link an article because I don't want to look it up right now, but it's like she kept a bunch of people in prison for like months longer after the like legalization in California or whatever would make their crimes non-crimes. And then what she would do is usually let those people out of prison. And then she kept them in prison for like months after. I'll link something. Don't worry. I'll get you the facts on that. But anyway.
Now, Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president. But I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place that impacts poor people in the worst kind of way.
Okay, this is where it gets funny and where you would hope to get the most information. Harris's new plan also contains a few lines about digital assets, another area where she appears poised to break ranks with the Biden administration. I guess Biden's super pro or anti-regulation of Bitcoin. I have trouble believing that, but anyway. According to her campaign, Harris, quote, knows more than 20% of black Americans own or have owned cryptocurrency assets, which is why her plans will make sure owners of and investors in digital assets benefit from a regulatory framework, yada, 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 so that black men who participate in this market are protected. Okay. But nobody knows what the framework would look like. I mean, I just love, it's like the most classic snake oil thing you can do. It's like, take two things that are good for you, free money and legal marijuana, and also take regulation on your Bitcoin. Isn't the whole point of the Bitcoin that it's not regulated? Isn't that the entire point? And I love how she's like selling this. Like, it seems greedy. Like, if you're trying to ask people for votes, to like ask them for votes and then also slip in your like agenda, which is obviously bad for them, which is obviously counter to the whole purpose that they're engaged in that thing is the crypto. I mean, it's to not be regulated. That's but I get that the government wants to regulate and almost has to regulate it because that's like its role is to sort of reside over things. But it's funny to like, so it's not surprising to me that they're going to do that. I'm not even like offended by that, but it's just funny how she rolls it in as if it's like somehow good for you. As if it's somehow good for the voter, which is obviously not. So anyway, I'm turning into a political pundit. You just witnessed my transformation. No, I'm not always going to be a political pundit, but you know, it's a big time, and this is a funny standout article. So thank you for watching. It's been fun. I already can foresee the like to dislike ratio, so do it or don't. I don't even care at this point. It's gonna be bad. Help me fight the trolls, and you know, maybe drop a like, counter the dislike. It's gonna be 90-10 dislikes. Okay, thank you everybody. It's been fun.